It, in DC, we have with us the young professionals who attended the Young Professionals Conference at the hosted by Choice Hotels, Choice at the Choice Hotels headquarters. Neil Danani and Neil Patel will be speaking to us. Neil, tell us how was it and what did you learn from yesterday's conference?
Well, it was actually very informative. First, we had a training for the first few hours about leadership. It was done by Zixana Consulting. And after that, we were introduced to some of the Choice Hotels corporate staff, and they introduced to some of their brands and how they work and so forth.
So, Neil, tell me what you taking home from that conference.
So basically, the whole conference was based on leadership and leadership skills. So that was one of the main things that we are taking back. And I think it provided a great platform for young professionals such as ourselves right here, meeting new people and networking. I think that's the main thing, especially in this field. And you have to network. That's the only reason you come to all these events. You meet new people and you make new friends.
Fantastic. Thank you. Good. Short and sweet. Sorry, guys.
No, it's
We have with us Benita Patel. She is the Young Professionals Director as well as the Chair of the Young Professionals Committee. And we have Milisha, who's on the Women's Committee as well as an ambassador. Benita, you had a Young Professional Conference at the Choice Hotels headquarters in Rockville, Maryland. Tell us how it went and what was the agenda.
It was a great day. We had nearly 50 participants. The focus was really on networking and leadership skills development. So we had an outside consulting firm come in and do a lot of playful activities to get people out of their comfort zone and build upon existing leadership skills so that they could take something back home with them. And I think everyone had a great time throughout the day. And then we had a dinner afterwards, so people were able to really meet and make new friends.
Why at the Choice Hotels headquarters?
Choice has actually sponsored the the AHOA Young Professionals Committee for, well, all of our events this year and next year. So it was a great location to have it. They have a beautiful new headquarters, and the space was great for what we had planned.
And Millie, what you taking home from that conference?
In general, we had about 50 attendees, young professionals, and I think there's never been a part where all 50 of us have been in the same room aside from a convention. So it was kind of just this mini conference where you got to really mingle with other people from all over the country. I think I made friends, business colleagues. So in that sense, it was great because Choice really brought us together in one room where we just networked, we hung out for the entire day. So I think that's something that I'll take away from this conference.
Great, thank you. Thank you both. Okay, here's Winnie. We have with us a young professional, Vinay Patel, who's going to talk to us about the... Sharma. We have a young professional with us, Vinay Sharma, who's going to talk to us about the Hospitality Law Program. Vinay, tell us the details of this program.
Sure. Briefly, the Hospitality Law Program is at American University in Washington, D.C. It's the Washington College of Law. It's the only law school that opens up its doors to students, law students, to professionals to learn about hospitality law. In the course is a week long in the summer. There's 3 courses. One on an introduction to hospitality law, what is a hotel. Second is it's purely on franchising, franchise agreements, how to deal with a franchisor. And the third is advanced topics, which is tort law, administrative law dealing with OSHA, things like that in the hospitality industry. And it's available to anybody. I will give you my information so that you can register for the program. My email is vs7118@american.student.edu. That's vs7118@american.student.edu.
And Vinay, are these online courses?
No, the courses aren't online. You have to be there, but it's designed to be a law school environment. Law school is designed to, of course, give you knowledge, but change the way that you think. So it's with a law school professor, with law school students as well, and practitioners as well. Practitioners can receive something called a CLE credit that's approved by the ABA. If you're not a practitioner and you just want to learn, it'll really change the way you think and give you an opportunity to think like a lawyer and deal with these issues that face your property on your own.
And what's the criteria for applying for this?
Again, it's just a simple registration. There is a fee involved, and again, you can email me at vs7118a@student.american.edu to get more information.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Last week, Fred Schwartz's mother passed away, and also Pratik, our chairman's grandmother, passed away. So if we will take a brief moment, about 10 seconds. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So again, I want to welcome you all to this advocacy conference that we have. We have a very big lineup of individuals as well as a long agenda today, so I'm not going to take too much time. But again, you know, without you guys as ambassadors and members of the whole participating in this conference, we wouldn't have the success that we've had over the last few years. Many of you who've been coming to these conferences over, you know, consistently have noticed that congressional officials, senators, a lot of the folks in government recognize who HOA is. And that's because of the participation not only from members, but the ambassadors who are the core group when it comes to these advocacy sessions. So again, thank you guys for participating. Look forward to being with you guys for about 2 days. And, you know, we're going to have our visits to the Hill tomorrow. I'm going to turn the mic over to Chip Rogers, who is our VP of Government Affairs and PR.
Thank you, Jimmy. I echo his remarks that we thank you for being here. This will be, just so you know, the largest advocacy conference that HOA has ever had. We had over 220 people register. We'll hopefully have about 250 people show up. So let's start by giving each other a round of applause. In years past, one of the challenges we had for HOA was to, many times, when meeting with members of Congress and their staff, actually introducing who a HOA is to so many of these members. In most cases now, we're beyond that. Obviously, tomorrow when you're meeting with people, still introduce who we are. But we're really here to do a lot of business. And you will see later today when you get your sheet of meetings. I met with our staff early on and I told them we want to set a new standard for what we're able to accomplish this time. You will find, as you probably did, if you're not staying at the host hotel, you'll find that Washington, D.C. right now is probably as busy as it is at any point ever. I was looking last night, if you wanted to get a hotel room in the city, the cheapest one was about $400. And the reason that is because during this 2 to 3 week period here in September, this is the last time these gentlemen are going to be in Congress. These men and women are going to be in Congress before the election. So at the end of this week, they're leaving to go campaign from now through November. So every association in the country that wants to come talk to their members of Congress, they're here right now. And you'll see an extremely busy hallway when we get to the Capitol tomorrow. But what that also means is that all of these members of Congress are booked, double booked, triple booked, quadruple booked for events. So at our reception tonight, and we'll have another reception tomorrow if you're staying late, we may not have as many members of Congress show up only because we were speaking to a member of Congress today and he was indicating that he had 4 meetings all scheduled at the exact same time. And that's what a lot of these people are having to do right now. That being said, what I told our staff from the beginning was, let's see if we can have more individual meetings, more business meetings than we've ever had before. So when you see your sheet today, many of you are probably going to be saying to yourself, how do we get to all these meetings? Because in the past, when you may have had 3 or 4 meetings, many of your states have 10, 11, 12 meetings tomorrow. It'll be the most meetings we've ever had by like 100%. So the message is we're here to do business. And I can't thank you enough because you guys are an army of small business people doing business on our behalf. And we work throughout the year building relationships, trying to lobby the best we can, and we do a pretty good job of that. But having a couple of hundred HOA members, 250 HOA members going to Capitol Hill, each of them with 7, 8, 9, 10 meetings, that's going to make a huge impact. So tomorrow will be probably the most impactful day that a HOA has ever had on Capitol Hill, and it's because of your presence here that's going to make that happen. A few housekeeping notes. You need to make sure that you sign in at the registration desk out back. If you've not done that and we don't have your name, then you can't get reimbursed. So that's a critical thing to do. The convention committee is going to be meeting at 6 p.m. today in the lobby of our office at 20 F Street. Many of you have not been there, but we're going to be going there later this evening for the reception. So if you're on the convention committee, you'll meet in the lobby at 6 p.m. And then finally, tomorrow, for those who need to store luggage, if you're familiar with the way the Capitol Hill is laid out, the Capitol Hill Hotel, which happens to be owned by an HOA member, is the closest hotel to the actual Capitol. It is 1 block behind the Republican Club, if you know where that is, on the house side. And so if you have any questions, we'll point you in the right direction. But it is a great place to store luggage. They know that we're coming to store our luggage, so if you need to store your luggage, that is the location to do so. From that point, you can gather your luggage, and if you need to go to Reagan Airport, you can get on the metro, which is right there, and it will take you directly to the airport. I cannot stress enough that if you're going to the airport anytime tomorrow between 4 and like 7, it's much easier to use the train than it is to use a cab. Much quicker, less costly, and you won't miss your flight. So you can store your luggage at the Capitol Hill Hotel tomorrow. We're going to be covering a lot of issues today. A lot of this is going to be training. In the past, we had a lot of dignitaries come in and speak to us. We do have 2 members of Congress who will be speaking. We have a very special guest, Dr. Murphy, who will be speaking as well. But the main thing we want to focus on today is make sure we're going over the issues so that tomorrow, when you walk into those members of Congress office, the 7, 8, 9, 10 meetings you're going to have, that again, we're here to do business, and we want to leave having made an enormous impact. All of this would not be possible, as you might suspect, if we didn't have financial sponsors. And we do have 2 sponsors we want to have come up here in just a minute. And for that, I want to bring up to the podium Chirag Shaw, who deserves an enormous amount of credit for putting all this together, as he introduces our sponsors.
Thank you, Chip. As Chip mentioned, we are privileged to have such great sponsors, such great founding sponsors with the HOA, who have helped to make this conference a reality and to make it as extraordinary as we've ever had it. And this year will be even more extraordinary as we take this conference to the next level. And so at this time, I'd like to introduce Mr. Richard Tatum with DirecTV. DirecTV is a founding member of HOA, and they've helped make this conference possible. And as you all see on your portfolios, you'll see DirecTV for Business because they've been such a great support. So Richard.
Hold your balls this day. It took me a minute to do hardware switch. Yeah. Richard Tatum, I'm the Senior Director of Technology and Engineering at DirecTV. And my job, my purpose is to create innovative new solutions for you and for your hotel properties. And I'm pleased to share with you some of the technology that we've been working on. On behalf of the DirecTV hospitality team, it's a pleasure to have the chance to share with you today some of the things we're working on. As Chirag mentioned, we are a founding member of HOA, and it's a pleasure and a privilege to be part of your success. So what I'd like to, I guess, first say is just, I think we're at a point where technology has enabled us to have potentially a transformational opportunity to change the viewing experience for your hotel guests. It wasn't that long ago when the guest experience was on par, perhaps maybe ahead of what the viewing experience was in the living room. Unfortunately and sadly, technology, as it's apt to do, is leapfrogging ahead very quickly, and it's caused an experience where we know we can remedy. But in reality, hey, properties like this, they have free HBO. How bad could this be, right? So this is a base hotel, and it's meant to be a little bit funny, but the topic is a little bit more serious. So what is it that we're doing to solve this solution? What is it that we, as a solution provider, and with your support, helping to rid the world of bad television, one hotel room at a time? Well, it's a rhetorical question. There's a variety of technologies. I'm here to share with you a few solutions that I think are worthy of your consideration. The solution on your left is what we call a COM 2000. It's a digital video platform that I'll come back to in a few words in just a minute. The technology on your right is called DREG, which stands for DirecTV Residential Experience. And regardless of the technology, regardless of what it is that you're trying to achieve in terms of your your financials, your budget, your guest experience, or the evolution that you're looking to achieve in terms of your guest experience, there are a couple of important elements that must be considered. First and foremost, technology, as we know, is rapidly advancing. The transition from standard definition to high definition is nearly complete. And we're currently in the process of the transition into 4K, or Ultra HD. 4K promises to deliver 4 to 5 times the video resolution of high definition. And I can assure you that DirecTV is doing everything we can in terms of our technology and our assets and our infrastructure, including satellite capacity, to ensure that we lead the industry in delivering 4K content. So the investment that you make needs to ensure that you can scale and deliver new programming content. The other element that's also mindful is obviously the guest experience. In particular, what's important is that you have a rich, interactive, high-definition programming lineup. You have the infrastructure that I just talked about, but it's also important that the guest does something very important when they check into your property. We want them to turn the TV on. If we can do that, we can fix TV with TV. They will have an enhanced guest experience, and you will have opportunities to enhance and grow revenue. Partly with technology, partly with the interactive services that guests are apt to do, whether they want to watch on a large glass, whether they want to sling technology from a smartphone. DirecTV is very much focused on ensuring that we're covering our bases, and that's what these two platforms are designed to do. So the Com 2000 is actually an evolutionary product. We launched the next generation version earlier this year. What we've achieved is essentially cut the technology costs in half, cut the power consumption by a third, and shrunk the form factor down to where we can deliver 48 channels of high-definition programming in about 5 inches of rack space. So Dre is a DirecTV residential experience, and its purpose, as you can imagine, is designed to deliver the same great guest experience that we have for over 20 million DirecTV subscribers today. It achieves that through a set-top box technology, but we also can customize the user experience based on what the hospitality needs are. And so Dre is able to deliver things such as a co-branded user experience. You can customize the channel lineup to suit your customer's needs. You can control that on a per box or per room or per property basis. If you want to have video on demand content, if you want to have on-demand or catch-up TV, if you want to have an interactive program guide that's a welcome page with customized chiclets and look and feel that's suited for your property needs, Dre can do all that. If you want, so I can talk a little bit more about the hardware and the technology. As mentioned, I head up an engineering team that's located right here in Parkersburg, Maryland. But I think maybe more relevant for this audience would be to maybe pivot and talk a little bit more about some of the business objectives and actually hear from our hotel partners and their guests how Dre and our technology is solving a real business need for them. So if you allow me to close in just for the next few minutes, I'll show you a brief video clip.
DirecTV sets the industry standard as the world's leading provider of digital television services. Now, with the DirecTV residential experience for hotels, your guests can enjoy all the benefits of DirecTV when staying at your property. Our service transforms guest rooms into living rooms and makes your hotel a home away from home for your visitors.
They have the menu that they have at home, they have all the sports channels, they get all the HBO channels, pretty much any channel you want, you're getting here.
Watch your customer base grow, along with your revenue.
Having DirecTV has boosted business and created loyal customers coming back to our hotel.
As seen on the Travel Channel's hit show Hotel Impossible, the addition of DirecTV was the thrilling highlight of the show's big reveal moment.
Voila! Oh my God, our guests are going to love it. How cool is that?
With over 100 channels in stunning HD, your guests will enjoy the ultimate viewing experience and full DVR functionality. Since they can pause, rewind, and record live TV, they can watch what they want when they want it.
The guest response has been fantastic. We get compliments all the time on the quality of the picture and the selection of channels that we have.
In your hotel again and again, because there's no place like home, especially when it has DirecTV.
All right, so ridding the world of bad television, one hotel room at a time. Thank you.
one more sponsor that we'd like to introduce today, and that is Red Lion Hotels. We're very grateful for your friendship and your founding membership of AHOA. And at this time, we'd like to introduce David Attardi, who is the Regional Vice President of the East Coast for Red Lion Hotels. Thank you.
Attardi. I am Regional Vice President of Lodging Development for Red Lion Hotels Corporation. And as a local Washingtonian, I would like to welcome you all to the nation's capital. Chip mentioned this is a great time of year for business in the city. He's absolutely right. It's also a great time of year for weather, and Red Lion Hotels Corporation is also the sponsor of this week's weather. So for that, you are welcome. No, it's a beautiful city. So if you're here for the first time or you don't get here very often, please enjoy it and welcome to the city. By show of hands, who is attending this event for the first time? Excellent. Well, congratulations. You made a really, really good choice. I have been actively involved with a very similar event sponsored by the American Hotel and Lodging Association for the last 4 or 5 years. And it is, without fail, every year one of the coolest things that I do. So this is a really interesting time to be in D.C., particularly in the hospitality industry. There's a lot of really meaty and salient issues. So the exposure that you guys will have and the force that you will be on Capitol Hill this week is quite impressive. So you should be very proud. It's a really good time to do it. And AHOA in general has always been an industry leader in terms of taking stances on issues, organizing, and so forth. And Red Lion Hotels Corporation is absolutely, it's our privilege and honor to be involved and have a partnership with AHOA. So it's a really exciting time for Red Lion. I'm not sure how familiar you guys are with our company and our family of brands and some of the things that have been happening over the last 12 months, but it's a pretty dynamic time. And we've recently gone through some pretty dynamic brand refreshes and repositioning, and we are poised and ready and hungry for growth. And I think I've been on board about 2 months. I live in Washington, D.C. Our headquarters is in the other Washington, it's in Spokane, Washington. So I think the fact that I'm here 3,000 miles away from the headquarters is testament to our seriousness and our desire to grow. So I've had an opportunity to meet several of you through over the last 2 months, but also through the years in my previous life. I was on your side as on the ownership and management side locally here with a company called VF Salt Company. And through that, I got to meet a lot of familiar faces in this room, so it's good to be on the other side of the table and working with you guys in new and interesting ways. So I appreciate everything that you guys have done in terms of welcoming us and being at, I think friendship is a really good word, actually. Having a friendship with our group and our partnership is super strong. If you're not familiar with Red Lion Hotels Corporation and our brands, hopefully that will be changing very, very soon. Just a high-level snapshot, and I'm here with a colleague of mine, Angela Rowe, who is much more easier on the eyes to look at, so I sorry she's not up here, and also very familiar with AHOA. So if you don't know her and you don't know me, we'll be here all day today and tomorrow, so I look forward to chatting with you guys. And if you're not familiar with it, just a quick snapshot is, you know, we have 2 core brands. We have Red Lion Hotels and Red Lion Inns and Suites. And even though you might not be familiar with it, we've been around a long time. The company was founded in the late 1950s, and the last 18 months has probably been the most exciting time around it. We repositioned some of the 2 brands and really found a niche inside the mid-scale space, and it's making mid-scale relevant in a lifestyle sort of brand way. And by lifestyle, we don't mean necessarily expensive or frou-frou boutique. We just mean creating authentic experiences that are plugged into the communities where our hotels operate. And as a franchisor and a brand partner, I can guarantee you two things. One will be easy and flexible to work with, and 2 will be fun to work with and very responsive to your needs. It's a fun time for us. We're still a relatively small group at about 62 hotels, and we're looking to grow actively in the East. So I look forward to taking that journey with you guys. When I was on the owner-operator side, my role was in distribution, e-commerce, and marketing. And one of the things that attracted me most to Red Lion Hotels was their commitment to technology and their vision around technology and how that drives the company and really generates revenue. And I think what was so refreshing is that they realized very early in this process of repositioning that we're not a technology company, we're a hotel company. So we don't own our technology, it's all strategic partnerships. The only thing proprietary we have is a single dashboard that's called RevPack, which plugs into some of the industry-leading technology platforms around revenue management, distribution marketing, digital marketing, and central reservations that I would say is best